For my credible person, or in my case, the most incredible person I know, I chose my grandmother. And as my visual aid, I figured, what better visual aid than bring her to class? She's so excited. This is her first day at college, so she's pumped. But Randy Owens of the group Alabama once sang, "I believe there are angels among us, sent down to us from somewhere up above. They come to you and me in our darkest hour to show us how to live, to show us how to give, and guide us with the light of love." My life has been touched by an angel. She's had many influences on not only my life, but everyone she meets. I'm proud to say that angel is my grandma. She's the most saintly person I know, although she leads by example rather than preaching. She's very loving, courageous, practical, level-headed, and giving. She's not only a grandma, but a best friend to talk to about anything, a sister to joke around with and get in trouble with, an idol to look up to, and definitely my hero. She doesn't judge others that don't live the moral life that she tries to lead. There's not one in particular memory of my grandma, but more of just accumulation of the years of support and the love and the guidance. It's great to see her face light up every time she sees you. It's just neat to know someone cares that much about you. I never really got in trouble much around her when I was little, just because I didn't want to disappoint her. I didn't want to let her down. My mom's grown to be just like her, and that's the most I could ask of my life. It's such a compliment when someone says, "You're just like your grandma." It's just the best compliment you could receive. Betty Ausland was born in the 1930s, although she often says she's in her late 20s. She was born in Chipley, a small farmhouse in the middle of nowhere that didn't even have indoor plumbing until her high school years. She never had much, but she made the most of everything she had. She began work at age 12 for 97 cents a day at a local dime store. Her father was injured in World War I, so he received disability, so the money she earned from her job was what supported her, her 4 sisters, and 2 parents. She received a full tuition-paid scholarship to FSU, which she wanted to take because she absolutely loves learning, but she didn't because she had to stay home and take care of her family. But she didn't think of this as a burden, just more of a responsibility that she took very seriously. My grandpa proposed to her in 1951, but she said she couldn't get married. She had to stay, take care of her family, and raise all of her sisters. But he said that was an obstacle that they'd take on together. And for the next 48 years, that's what they've done. They've taken on every problem together. They've only had one fuss their whole marriage, and it's one I hear over at their house very often. "No, honey, I'll do it. No, honey, let me do it for you. I'll do it. It's okay." They're what a marriage should be. They're full of mutual admiration and love and respect towards each other. They're the old couple you see in the mall, holding hands, very much in love. She's always very willing to help others. She's opened her house to everyone. In fact, she's had both of my grandpa's brothers come live with them, both of their parents. Even my family moved in for a few months during the move, even though it was very crowded. And she offered her house to one of my good friends who was facing having to move out of state because of her family. When my great-grandmother, her mom, got very ill, she took her into her house and did all the caretaking, even though she has 4 sisters that live in town. But again, she didn't think this was a burden, just a privilege that she got to spend this much time with her mom. She shared everything that she's had, even though she's never made much above minimum wage. But I guess she learned very early the value of money. When she worked at that local dime shop when she was very young, she walked 4 miles there and 4 miles back. But one day while she was there, she not only got paid her daily wage, but her boss paid her way through the movie so she could go watch their younger son. Well, she walked her 4 miles back to her house, and she was telling her parents, "Yeah, this is what I did at work today." Well, her dad said that she was to march right back the 4 miles back to her boss, give the dime back for the movie, say they were not a charity case, and she was to earn everything she received in life. And it's amazing what she's done with so little. She's hardly ever had anything new. She gets everything secondhand or passed down, but she is so proud of everything she gives. She's 68 and still works 3 jobs, not because she has to, just because she wants to, because she loves being able to spend money on others. One day, not too long ago, I was at her house saying, "I'd love to win the lotto. It would make my life so much easier." And just as honest and sincere as she could, she looked and said, "I wouldn't want to win that much money. I don't want my life to change one bit." And that's the honest truth. She's so proud of everything, and she's the happiest person I've ever met. But her life's been anything but easy. She's had many obstacles to overcome. She's had 5 miscarriages and a stillbirth amongst 6 children. My mom was the only one of the kids that made it. But rather than letting her misfortune get her down, it's only lifted her up. She lived for my mom. Everything she did was for my mom growing up. When at a time when not many mothers worked, she had to work a full-time job, working many late hours. So my grandpa put my mom to bed early, and then my grandma would come home late, but she never failed. She'd set her alarm 2 hours before my mom needed to get up and get ready for school. So they'd have 2 hours before my mom got ready that they could play, spend time together. This quality time meant a lot to my grandma. In fact, she never missed a thing of my mom, like all of her award ceremonies, her recitals, stuff like that. One day in particular, she wasn't able to get the day off for an award ceremony, so she marched into her boss's office and said, "I will have this day off, and if that means I'm looking for another job tomorrow, well, that's what I'm doing tomorrow." And in fact, one time, she's real considerate of other people's feelings and how you feel. My mom tells a story how she was petrified to start junior high school. She just thought she was going to die. That was the end of her life. And when most parents would just shrug it off, saying, get on the bus, you'll be fine, you'll live. My grandma was real concerned and did anything just to alleviate my mom's fears. So she followed my mom's strict instructions, dropped my mom off at junior high, and followed 10 feet behind her the whole way to her classroom, not making it obvious that she was her mom, just for support, because my mom thought she was going to die. So she got to her classroom, signaled to my grandma, "It's okay, I made it, thanks." She was willing to do anything to help out. And she's a blast to be with, as Carly and Carrie knows. She takes us out to dinner, she takes us bowling, play cards, whatever. She's just like one of us, just one of the girls. She's fun to hang out with. My mom tells a story how she used to stick her tongue out at my mom when she was little, so my mom would do it back and she'd get caught and get in trouble. And she used to come to elementary school lunches, and at Highland Park when the lights were out during lunch, you do not talk or you get in trouble. Well, my grandma never caught on to this rule, and she always talked, and you can just imagine the lunch ladies having to come and get on to a grandma. And just recently, she took a friend and I to Sunny's barbecue for my birthday. When we're sitting there, she rips off half her straw wrapping, sticks it in her mouth, and blows the other half of the wrapping off in my front. Well, it misses the friend, hit the lady behind us, so she turns around to see who it was. On the most sincere, honest face, my grandma looks at my straw and says, "I told you not to do that." Our whole house was our playhouse growing up. Her bathroom was the nursery, her bedroom was our office, and the fireplace hearth was our place for our stage, our dances, and plays we'd put on. But she's anything but a regular grandma that sits in her rocking chair with her spectacles on. She's just a blast to be with. In fact, last weekend my sister had a birthday party at her house for a 16-year-old, and she stayed up the whole night playing games, giggling with all of them. She's always there at all of our stuff, rooting us on. For all of our recitals, award ceremonies, you can always count on her to be there with us. As you can tell, my grandma means the world to me. With my new work and school schedule, I get to spend a lot more time with her. I go over there just about every morning for breakfast, and I love the time we spend together just sitting and talking and gossiping. I think it's kind of ironic when you walk in her house, you see 2 big bookshelves full of angels, because everyone she meets gives her an angel, and that's just what she collects. But in reality, I believe my grandma is the angel.
What questions for Todd? What do you have for breakfast when you go over there?
Waffles, hot chocolate, anything she makes me.
What's your most fondest memory?
Probably all the days she's playing house. She'd always be whoever we made her be. She'd come play with the dolls with us or play office with us. We used to have, I know you remember this, the spatula was our phone, and we'd always make up stuff. Well,
So, your mom is only child?
mm-hmm.
What are the 3 jobs that she has?
Well, she's a bookkeeper right now. She used to work at Bay's Hardware. It just closed down. But she also works at Bolorama Bowling Alley. She's a bookkeeper for my dad. She's a bookkeeper for someone else I'm not sure of. And she's still looking for another job as of now.
How many hours do you work?
I usually work 10 to 12 Bay's Hardware. I usually work about 20 hours. I work at the usually out of the
What do you do there? Do you bowl? Do you work in bowl around and bowl also?
In fact, she's missing her bowling day today, so I'm very proud of her.
Oh, she's missing her bowling day?
Her big day.
It's worth it.
As always, she's here rooting me on.
Since you have watched Kelly through the years, I'm curious what your thought is now seeing her up there. What was going through your mind as she was talking about what she thought?
Maybe everything that she's done, she's always been in advance. She's a lady.